fall out of existence or come into existence? Oh, of course it does not. What does it mean? Things disappear? So the things that make up the world can just disappear. There's no precedent for this in any of our thinking at all. And I mean historically, I mean straight through. This is all kind of vague, gibberishy, kind of supernatural theistic mentality. The idea that something not existent in this world can just pluck something out. In fact, even as it relates to particular religious ideologies, that doesn't make sense to say. Like to say that God could destroy that which is supernatural also doesn't make sense to say. So there still is this retained sense, even in their own framework, that something, if it's existent at least in this new, special, supernatural form, can't come out of existence because it doesn't have the same qualities. I mean, there's no precedent in our thinking, or in at least in our maneuvering through the universe, that would allow us to say, oh, well, things just fall away from existing. Right? They don't transform, they don't maneuver, they don't become something different, they don't reformulate or recalculate themselves into something else, they just disappear. And there's no precedent for this. And it seems kind of awkward to even make that kind of idea, because as we understand it, things just revert back into what they were before, or change into something new, or kind of mold and manipulated by the universe itself.
So if they revert back into what they originally were, give me an example of that.
Okay, so think of we have qualities about ourselves that might disappear, right? So say life. Life can fall away, but life is just a category of things as they come together. It's not the things themselves, right? So the things that make up life are things that don't fall away into nothingness, right? So say a building. If a building explodes, it doesn't disappear, right? So the structure is gone, but that which made up the structure has just become something else, ash or whatever.
Okay.
So the idea that which constitutes all things doesn't disappear. It just moves to be something else. It just moves to be another accumulated aspect. I mean,
we were earlier saying that God is the originator of all things. If that's true, then it's we're talking.
I wasn't accepting that.
There you were.
Oh no! I was playing the game momentarily to say that I don't even know what that means to say.
Okay, well look.
I certainly didn't go, oh, we've done it. No, that didn't happen.
Thought I'd try. Okay. If we can say that, if we say motion, okay, this is my tripping point, and I need to hear more of your talk on this. Is that I recognize bodies, I recognize motion. All right, the notion that bodies were around forever, that the stuff that makes up the skyscraper is the same stuff that makes up, a pile of rubble, thousands of years from now. That's fine. That could be existent forever, other than the fact that these things break down over time and that there is a progression of entropy, and far enough into the future, there will be little structure at all. But barring that, we still have this thing of motion. We still have this thing of that isn't stuff, but is a different kind of stuff, such that we can't talk about it in the same way that we can talk about buildings and rubble. So what is that energy? What is movement? That's my question to you.
Okay, I mean to be honest, I don't know, right? So I have no idea. What would it mean to say that something does or doesn't move? I don't know. Stillness versus motion, I really don't know. I mean, I'm certainly not a physics buff, right? So in fact, I've never actually taken a physics class. But what it would mean, what it would mean to say that things, the things which constitute the universe are either in and out of motion. I mean, I can understand that in some kind of conceptual framework, but it makes less sense to me to say that those things completely fall out of existence. Again, what would it mean to say that things just disappear, like a magic trick? Right. That would seem to be far less meaningful to me than to say that things have always been in a kind of perpetual state of existence and motion. Whereas that seems to be the constituting factors of the universe themselves. And why? It would seem to me if you want to just bring up Occam, to violate the idea that we need to now make reference to another thing to explain something that we've never actually seen happen, and that is the things in the universe falling out of existence or stopping to be things in motion. I don't.
Right. I think one problem you're going to have with that is that when you say, okay, something is falling out of existence, you're wrestling with like what human conceptualization is, and then the world as it really is. Like I think you were mentioning this earlier, that we could say that persons of I don't know, an element of someone's personality could supposedly or so-called fall out of existence, but that which had made that possible is somehow still around. And the only way I could challenge that really is to suggest to you that the difference between his personality now and his personality back then is not the stuff, but the relationship of that stuff. The relationship in one way is a skyscraper, and the relationship of that same stuff in another way is a pile of rubble. You're good with that, right?
I'm not sure I know exactly what you mean, to be honest.
If you have a bunch of stuff in the universe, and it
Right.
never goes away, but this
Okay.
stuff can form in a bunch of different ways. The only way that we can differentiate one form of stuff from another form of stuff is the arrangement of the form of
okay.
stuff in column A and the arrangement of stuff in column B.
Sure.
Okay? So when you say that like nothing falls out of existence,
I'm speaking strictly in relation to that which constitutes all things.
well, what constitutes all things?
Oh, I'm saying those basic items that are the constituent
What
factors
is
of all
what
things
is that?
exist.
What is that?
I mean,
Is that
okay,
energy?
so it would appear to me.
Is that-
It would appear to me to be at the basic framework, I suppose, energy and matter. I mean, it was as it
Energy
stands.
and
So
matter.
is there some? I mean, well, they're interchangeable, as it were. So I mean, so the question to me is, well, is there something that makes up that? I mean, I don't know, but if it were, so does that doesn't fall out of existence because that has to be there to make up that other stuff. At no point am I going to be able to say, well, there was nothing and then there was something. I mean, I don't know what that means to say. I mean, it doesn't seem in any way logical or apprehendable to me to say, well, there was nothing and then there was something and then that something became more and more and more and more something. It would seem to make less sense to say, well, there was that. It would make more sense to say, well, there was something, and these somethings form, become the constituent factors of other things as they enumerate and as they gather.
I think that's fine. But you need an origination for that more and more something business, and you need an origination for why things, when in different arrangements, form as different things, rather than just being a perpetual blob of energy. That this energy is working within a framework, which is not itself energy. It's not the energy telling itself what to do. It's being told what to do by something that is not energy. So what is that is not energy?
Well, no. See, here's the thing. It's the word usage that's throwing me off here. It's being told what to do, or it's bound to certain actions by the basic laws
Okay,
itself.
fine. That's fine. It's bound to what? It's bound to
I don't know.
behave in a particular way.
Perhaps
In
it can't.
this arrangement, we have a dog. In that arrangement, we have a cat. In that arrangement, we have
Right.
a bowl of virus. Why?
Oh, I mean, the simplest answer I can give you is that this is just the way it happened to form, right? So I mean, I guess that's not going to be very, you're not going to like that answer. But the idea that we have to presume that all things accumulate in a kind of preformed, pre-mentalized way is a projection.
It doesn't.
I mean, it's
No.
assuming,
That's not what I'm saying, though. I'm saying that there exists a world in which things could just happen to form in one way or another. I'm asking,
Right.
How is it that the natural universe is such that energy can form into viruses and dogs and cats?
I have no goddamn idea, and that's certainly a question that's out of my framework. And I think it's out of all of our. I mean, I don't know that any of us can, in any kind of logical way, explain why it must act in this way.
Do you believe it is there? Or do you believe that energy just sort of acts on its own accord?
No, I think that there are particular restraints within the universe. I don't think these
Then what
restraints
are those
imposed.
restraints if they are not energy?
I think these restraints are the qualities of the things themselves.
The qualities, you said the qualities come in and out of existence. That's what you attribute stuff to.
No.